today's episode we're going to be talking about the differences between Amico Home and Amico Club and which one of the apps from Intellivision that you like better. Alright, welcome back, Lelanders. Today we got some more Intellivision Amico episodes. Woo. And we'll be discussing and playing some Intellivision Amico Club. We'll even go over the viewers with how to install it. Now, I was a little bit worried because, what was it, when I checked the Google Play Store, they didn't have the Amico Club files for download any longer. But luckily, if you go to, APK Pure, you can just go to the Amico Club app and sideload it. It's got the information like scoring system, dying now resets your score to whatever it was the last checkpoint you passed, 500 bonus points for each remaining life. Why can't I install? Make sure. So yeah, I haven't tried the side loading it yet, but I'm sure it works. It usually does for every app when you just have to side load it into BlueStacks. So we'll go back to BlueStacks right now. There's what I look like without the beard. Just kidding. That's terrible, sorry. Alright, so I guess we might come back to that if any of the viewers ask. But right now we got Amico Club installed on BlueStacks. We got a gamepad controller, and we can play it on either my TV or my computer monitor. So for today we'll just play it on the computer monitor. Now, I was debating with some people in the YouTube chat about Intellivision Amico, and some people are bringing up the fact that they want to play it with buttons on a gamepad rather than on a cell phone. And to be honest, I still kind of agree with that to this point, but I'm willing to give Intellivision and Amico a chance to sell me on the cell phone idea. I already admit that the cell phone idea is a pretty good idea for a controller. I'm just not my type of controller. Right, so we'll click button mode. And hopefully we don't get any lag today. What I tried doing is adjusting some of the settings in both OBS and BlueStacks. And even on like a 10-year-old computer, I was able to get it running pretty smooth. Pretty smooth. Wasted Studios. So this is one of the things that comes up for debate. I noticed a lot of people saying that Intellivision took all that money and they didn't do anything except for pay some salaries. But if you look down into the chat down here at the very bottom, like the fine print, it says 2020 Intellivision Games LLC or Wasted Studios, and then Moon Patrol 1982. So I think this is kind of evidence here that people are saying that they just took the money and ran. It was some sort of scam. You can see right here that they're actually working on stuff, right? They weren't just faking and pretending. I know it makes great clickbait to say that for YouTube videos and in the chat, but realistically, we have to give Intellivision some credit. They were making games, right? Who knows? Maybe Moon Patrol is almost finished. They might have even more games coming. No one really knows, right? I know the haters act like they have everything figured out and they know all the facts, but I think to some degree I understand why they're so upset. We've been waiting so long. But let's not jump the gun and jump to conclusions. And let's jump the ship in Moon Patrol. Alright. So far so good. I noticed that if I hit the button on my gamepad to like turn on rapid fire or whatever, it stops the controls for speeding up and slowing down. So I got to make sure I don't hit that button by mistake, or then all of a sudden I can't control the speed of the Jeep or the moon vehicle, the rover. Now some people are gonna say that, hey, they've got Amico Home going now, so they don't need this demo anymore, but to me, I like playing it on a gamepad better. And right now my Android box can run Amico Home, but it crashes after like 5 minutes, so it sucks. And I can't buy the games. When I click on the link to buy the games, it just crashes too. So some people are like, oh, whining and complaining that Amico Home is having all these issues. And I tried to explain to these people, I'm like, have you ever heard of beta testing before? That means that it's not a finished product yet and people are helping work out the bugs to it. So I was wondering, like, when it comes to beta testing and Intellivision Amico Home, ah shit, does anyone know how to give feedback to Intellivision on how it's going? Or does like oh fuck. Or does the console just automatically send updates to them so they know what's happening when people are playing it? And as far as this Moon Patrol demo or APK file, I don't know if it requires the internet to work. Maybe you can even play this offline. Does anyone know? I haven't tried it offline. So if you can just play this offline, then we don't ever have to worry about the servers at Intellivision going down. We can always play this Moon Patrol. And it's a lot of fun. I don't know if anyone's tried it yet, but man, this I like better than any of the games on Amico Home right now. To be fair, I haven't tried them all yet, so I might actually end up liking it better, but just from what I can tell at first glance. Although that Sideswipers game or whatever it's called, Sidewinder or something like that, that one looks decent. I noticed, oh fuck, a lot of the critics right now for Intellivision and Amico are saying that the games are priced way too high on Amico Home. I just wanted to clarify that that actually isn't even true. That I live in Canada and there's like an increase I heard in prices for us buying the games. But even at that increase, there's some games starting at $4.99. So this idea that they're all expensive games, more hype or clickbait by the YouTubers. Now, technically I'm a YouTuber too, and I've been guilty of doing that in the past. I wasn't the biggest Amico fan in the beginning, but I've been liking it more and more. Trade in points. Trade in for what? See, I am playing it with the gamepad, not a cell phone. Playing Intellivision Amico. Playing something the haters say I can never play, yet I'm playing it right now. It's like, oh, you'll never play Amico. It's like, look what I'm doing. I'm playing Amico. And it's a really good game, and it's fun. Go figure, eh? Everything the haters were saying proven wrong. Now, fun is obviously a perspective for each individual, whether or not each person finds it fun, but this is one of my favorite game types. 2D, like driving, jumping, and shooting. It's one of my favorite game mechanics. So I love Moon Patrol. Now, to be fair to Intellivision, they got all those new Amico games, and I wish I could play them right now to actually do a better comparison. I am saying this just by running the menus. But when I noticed one feedback when running the menus, if it's working kind of glitchy for you, I found one problem that was making it glitchy for me. And once I corrected it, then the controller was working a lot better. Fuck. What I had was I had the controller facing up like a normal Intellivision in one-handed style, and it wasn't working the greatest. And then I realized that for some menus right now, it's actually the gyro's linked to one way of holding it. So you have to hold it sideways. And if you're not, then it works all ganky. If that's a word. Janky, ganky, glitchy. I just made 2 new words. While playing Moon Patrol. So some people ask, how long will we be able to play Moon Patrol on Amico? Well, all of a sudden the server shut down, we can never play it again? Like game preservation is and all that. I'm just thinking, because of this APK, if we can play it offline, like this isn't connecting to any Intellivision servers right now, then technically we can play this forever, as long as the universe exists. I guess obviously one day the universe will be completely destroyed and there'll be nothing left for anyone to play on, but what did I die on? What the fuck? Son of a bitch. No, maybe those UFOs. I love this weapon. This part of the game is actually my favorite part. Just shooting the UFOs, blasting boulders with all those wicked weapons. I'd like to say that one day we're going to be able to film beating this game, but some people are like, oh, how short is this demo? It's like, well, fuck, man. I've been playing Moon Patrol for weeks now, and I still can't beat the level. I can't remember if I beat it when it first came out, because this game's been out for a while, right? Like, it came out in 2020 or something. See, I think Intellivision really could have just focused on this route, eh? Getting more games out for Amico Club so people could see that the studios are working on games, even though they're behind on them. It's not that uncommon for games studios to fall behind in projects, right? We have to admit, the pandemic really did happen, as much as people try to downplay that. Oh, and then a lot of critics keep saying, oh, it was on the launch pad, but it was all lies and scams. It's like, no, you can actually see the proof that it was on the launch pad. It's because we have all those things about Tommy losing the deposit for a manufacturer. So if you already gave a manufacturer a deposit, how much more on the launch pad can you be, right? Holy, that was close. I hit shoot instead of jump, and that hole was actually small enough for me just to jump over without hitting jump. See, Smash JT was going on about something too, that Intellivision's lying, because if you download the Amico games, they were calling them free and they really charge you for it. And so I took the text where he said that they were lying and looked at the spot he highlighted, and what he said and what they actually wrote isn't even the same. So here he's like accusing Intellivision of like lying, and he can't even get his facts straight. It's like, I get it, he's upset that he doesn't think he's getting any money back from his investment, because he believes all the hater comments that Intellivision is doomed. But I was thinking I should tell Smash JT is that if he really thinks his investment is going to return 0, sell it to me for half the price of what you paid. So that way you can still get half your money back, and on the far chance that that return actually does turn out good one day, then I'll still make something back. But if you're right, and at least you're getting half your money back. So if you really believe what you're saying, and you're not just doing it for clickbait, prove it. Sell me your investment. If that's even possible. Who knows? Maybe JT can't sell his investment. I don't know. If anyone knows, put it in the chat. Because personally, I think the way Intellivision's going now that they got Amico Home out, Amico Club, you can play it. So if people are really saying, oh, I'm crying like a baby because I can't play games on a cell phone, it's too difficult for me to set it up. Too difficult to install an app. Like, dear God. People are calling it complicated to install Amico Home. I'm like, dear God, I not only installed it, but I got it streaming to a computer. It's like, it's not that difficult. You install something, right? Sure, I get it, there's some people that can install stuff, but how many of those people really exist? 1 million out of 8 billion people? Let's face it, if you can't install an app, you probably weren't going to be playing a video game. And to begin with. Like, I can even sideload apps, and I consider myself not that great with technology. It's not that difficult. God, let's beat this level, eh? I gotta focus. Hopefully the game has sound this time. If anyone's in the chat, let us know. Can we actually hear the Amico game today? I think I had it too low before and couldn't, or right off, and we couldn't even hear the game. Oh, what the fuck? I think I hit jump and shoot at the same time and it didn't do anything. It did neither. No jump or shoot. For me, I'm just happy that I put jump on X and shoot on R1. Oh, that was bad. Holy fuck. Wow, this game is so much fun. It's so intense, action-based. Because my memory's not very good, it almost seems like a new level every time. Yeah, this is where the level starts getting intense. See, the hard part in this is when you get to those walls, it seems so easy. It's like, oh, just shoot it. But a lot of times your gun isn't angling properly to hit it, so... And if you shoot too soon, the bullet won't reach, and then you'll have to reshoot, and you don't have enough time to reload. Jeez Louise. So that time you're like trying to shoot the UFOs, but shoot the wall too. And make sure you don't run out of ammo at the wrong time. It takes a while to reload that red shot. Yeah, the game mechanics on this game are very smooth. I love it. Like, this is pure action. Oh, gaming at its finest. This is the type of gameplay that can save gaming. Like, would I play this or like the latest Grand Theft Auto or whatever? I prefer this. Grand Theft Auto was good for Part 3 and Vice City, but by that time I had already played enough. You can only steal so many cars, right? Yes. Making it, eh? Jinx. There we go. Seems like slowing down in this helps a lot. Like if you're not slowing down in this game, you're doing really good. Yeah, imagine they made this on a timer too. That would have been intense. Can't believe I survived that part. Oh. It's like, slow down. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Oh! Damn. Is this game action intense or what? Oh! How did I not make that jump? I think I started to slow down. See, that's the thing. Slowing down can be good sometimes, but... Oh! There goes all my lives. Oh, one more. Phew. I was just wondering that. Do the UFO bullets destroy the rock too? No! What? Alright. No! It's like I can't jump in time. How did I get all these extra lives? I'm not complaining, but... Holy. I guess the replay to this demo too is once you beat it, like, man, you can probably play it and try to beat your high scores. Oh. No! Why isn't it jumping? Fuck. It's probably because I'm going too slow. It's like I got, or maybe I'm speeding up too much. I have to remember when I get there. There. Piece of crap. Oh, I didn't see the second rock. Fuck. No, it didn't jump again. Holy last life. Yes. Holy tamale. This gameplay is so intense. Someone's playing PS5 right now and think they're having a good time, but they're missing out. Shit! Come on! Did I not shoot it? You son of a... Oh, alright, let's restart. I don't know if it was just me or I had a lot of extra lives that time. Yep, so far so good. The gamepad controllers are working nice and smooth. Very minimal lag. I'm playing on a wired connection, possible to a TV or a computer monitor. Playing in television Amico. One of the best games for it, and it's free. You don't even have to pay any money. It's Amico Club. If anyone wants to see how to get it, just watch the beginning of the video. You see, go to the APK Pure or whatever it is and sideload it. If you don't know how to sideload, you have to look that up. I don't have time to explain how to do that, but it's not that difficult. Lots of YouTubers explain it. Do I like playing Amico Home better or Amico Club? Well, so far I can't even get Amico Home working very good. It is easy to set up, but my Android box just can't handle it right now. It keeps crashing after 5 minutes of running it. Maybe it's a RAM issue, I don't know what, but... So I do like running the menus on Amico Home. I like how the controller feels. There's lots I like about Amico Home, but still far at this point, I like Moon Patrol is my favorite game. So once they get Moon Patrol and Amico Home, maybe then I'll like it better. But right now I'm playing on a gamepad with just one Android device, which is a lot better than the double Android device some would debate. Personally, I think it's overrated how many people are saying that it's difficult to set up two Android devices. Like if you have a, what is it, an Android box at home, you literally just turn it on and install the Amico Home app, which takes like 2 seconds. It's not a big file. And then pick up your cell phone. It's like most people have a cell phone if they have an Android box, right? We're not talking rocket science here. Like you have to go out and buy new devices. Like how many people own the Nvidia Shield but don't own a cell phone? Like you gotta be kidding me, right? Unless it's an Apple. Like to be fair, JT says that the Apple community has been excluded, so who knows, maybe in the future Amico will get working on Apple iOS devices too, but right now it's just Android. I do like Android better, that's the environment I use, so to me it's fine, but I guess to Apple users, yeah, it sucks having something that's not really compatible with most things. Unless Apple's made their own version of it. Now with these breakthrough type games, people must be wondering why I don't just restart if I die a few times. It's because sometimes you get lucky and you can just make it right to the end. If you get on a really good roll and you just got that rhythm going where you jump and everything right at the right times. This game is like really intense jumping. That's why I'm glad to be using a D-pad. Like cell phone, some people are better. Like you can give most women a cell phone and they're gonna use it better than guys do, right? So not to be sexist or anything, or the other genders, who knows, but not to stereotype either, but you know how most women are better at keyboarding, like they can type faster. No, and then the debate is, what is more simple? Like, that was Tommy lying when he said that Amico's controls would be more easy to use? And debatably, yeah, it is harder to install it initially, like installing an app on your phone, if we're actually going to call that hard to do, but But when it comes down to the final product, like taking a cell phone and explaining to someone how to use it, or giving someone like a 12 button gamepad and trying to get them to memorize all the buttons on that thing. Most people that are like cell phone gamers, they don't like gamepads, right? So obviously a cell phone is going to be easier for them. And they do outnumber console gamers, let's be realistic. Yeah, thanks for the like, everyone. It's nice to play some Intellivision, get some viewers to talk to about who likes Amico Home better or who likes Amico Club. Like, this is Club, you get to play Moon Patrol, and it's free. And you can use a gamepad. So, like, I like Amico Club better so far. But to be fair to Amico Home, it is beta. They probably will add support for gamepads, I hope, in the future. Fuck, fell in the hole. Because adding gamepad support for Amico Home would be huge. I know they want people to get used to their cell phone idea, but I think it's good to have both. Like casual gamers, sure, they'll like the cell phone better and they can play it as a controller and love it even more. But you should have that option for hardcore gamers that love gamepads and kind of reject cell phones, like Tommy used to be. Tommy, back in the day when he was on Electric Playground, he actually hated cell phone games too. So for anyone who's like, oh, I hate cell phone games, it's like, well, you actually agree with Tommy then. But that was Tommy back in the day. I don't know what changed his mind, probably because there's more gamers that use cell phones. So if you're going to target a bigger market, you have to bend your ideals and go where the market is. Now I'm going to try to get my girlfriend to play this on a gamepad and a cell phone, the two different versions, if it comes out on Amico Home soon, so that she could be like, compare it. And everyone's wondering how come I said I had an NVIDIA Shield but my Android box can't run it. I actually got two. I got NVIDIA Shield down south at my old apartment. In my new apartment I was just using my girlfriend's Android box. So that's why it's different from the Shield. It runs Android 11 and it can run Amico Home but only for like 5 minutes, and I can't install the games. Something's weird with it. I should try uninstalling it, reinstalling it, and see if that fixes it. Fuck. Alright, what was the other questions people have been asking in the video? Oh yeah, a lot of people have been talking about the legal aspects. They're like, why doesn't the authorities or like judges or lawyers or police start charging the people on Intellivision, putting them in jail? And my response to that one is always, who do you think is doing illegal things in this situation? Like, given our current laws in North America or the States or whatever part of the world, like, Jesus, if we lived in Japan, can you imagine what would be happening? Like, Japan is super strict. You're not allowed to say anything about a company that's negative, like publicly written or anything, or else it's a criminal offense. And it's the case where even if it's true, so it's like, say you knew there was something bad about a company and you know it's true, it's still considered slander and libel and jail time. So if we're talking about like who is breaking laws when it comes to this entire Intellivision thing, just think about it for a second, right? Like, sure, Intellivision, some people think it's a scam and everyone has the right to do that, but you're not really supposed to go around publishing stuff and saying stuff and continually bad-mouthing a company just because you think it's a scam, right? Like, even if it was a scam, it's still up for a judge to decide it, right? Like, everyone is supposed to be considered innocent until proven guilty in court. Remember that whole law? So that's why it's ironic that people are like, oh, why is it Intellivision and its employees in jail and all this stuff? It's because it hasn't gone to a court yet, right? Like, and even if it did, what are they going to be charged for? When you invest in something, there's always that risk, right? You don't go invest in a stock market and then when the stock crashes, start crying like a baby and be like, oh, I want my money back because the stock had some problems, right? Like, fuck. What are we talking about here? Especially the cyberbullying thing. Cyberbullying is so illegal in some countries, and the amount of people do it towards Tommy is ridiculous, right? Like, I've never seen anyone like cyberbullied online as much as Tommy, right? It's probably because he made big claims, right? And he hasn't been able to fulfill on them yet to the full degree. At least I'm playing Moon Patrol and Amico Home is out, and arguably his controller might even come on the market. Because I think if the Intellivision Amico controller comes on the market and it's really good and works with NVIDIA Shield, it's going to be sweet not only to play Amico, but you'll be able to play Intellivision emulators on your NVIDIA Shield and then use a new modern Intellivision controller to play them. That'd be freaking amazing. What they'll have to do with the emulator is start to include files for skins, so that if you're using an Amico controller, it puts a skin of the gamepad overlay onto the screen. So that'll be the future of what the Intellivision Amico controller can do. And I think it's really the future of gaming, because all Sega has to do is come out with the Sega controller, like a brand new modern age Sega controller, even make a new VMU and everything, and then have it sync to NVIDIA Shield. Holy fuck, it comes swooping down. So that way you don't have to worry about using all your company's money to develop a new console. All you have to do is use an already existing console. It's fine with people making apps for it. Oh fuck, same thing killed me. Sega controller comes out, and then all of a sudden you can download Sega Home on your Android Shield. So now you're playing a modern console with a modern Sega controller and downloading their games from their web store. Like, why even bother making consoles anymore, right? It's the future of gaming. Let one company make the consoles, or multiple companies if you really want. Free market still, right? But I think most people go with the best console for the lowest price that's compatible with the most apps. Right now, that's NVIDIA Shield. And then Coleco, the Chameleon, if they want to solve the Chameleon problem, just come out with the Chameleon controller. They don't even have to make the console. And then the Chameleon controller syncs to Shield and works with all the Coleco games. And the new games that they release on Coleco Home. Problem solved. Phil Adams could fulfill both consoles that people were giving him a hard time about not finishing, to some degree, rightfully so. Oh. So I think the future of gaming is bright. We're all going to be playing games on NVIDIA Shield, and we can just get the controllers. I'd laugh if Microsoft does that one day. They're like, hey, why are we even making Xboxes? Let's just make a new Microsoft controller and have it compatible with Shield. Like, why do we even need to buy Xboxes anymore, right? PlayStation, you could argue that they have enough peripherals to justify their own console, like VR and stuff, but or the motion controllers. But still, you could just make those work with the Shield too. I don't know if the Shield can do VR. If anyone knows, put it in the chat. It's probably just slightly under VR requirements. I'll have to wait till the Shield 2 comes out. Shield 2 Pro. I think the new Shield hasn't came out in so long is because like the last one is still dominating. There's no reason to make a new console if still no one else has beat it. It's the top of the line Android box. See, this is one advantage if you're not very good at Moon Patrol like me. This game demo will basically last forever because it's so hard and it's so long. That's what she said. Just kidding. Sorry, I couldn't resist. No, like this demo was like definitely the best demo I've played in years. It reminds me of the Tony Hawk's 2 demo that came with other games. Or no, the Tony Hawk 1 demo, or maybe 2. But anyways, it was a Tony Hawk game demo that came, and it was so good. It was just like one level, but people are playing it to death. Yeah, this is a very interesting game mechanic. I love it. See, normally breakthrough type games, you just use your memory. You memorize the entire level and then you realize how to beat each part of it easier. But for me, it's hard to remember the level, so it's definitely making this more challenging. Every time I get past like the halfway point of where I made it to, it seems like all new territory again. Hoping I just get better at the game in general, so it won't matter if I can remember it or not. I can just adapt to it as I go. Oh, see, that's the thing too when you're jumping. You have to time it good, because if you don't have time to hit jump again to make the next jump. Holy. It's like I was double jumping. Yeah, I really wish they had a pause button in this game. That's the hardest part, really. No pause. I wonder who is working at Wasted Studios. If anyone knows the gamers, it'd be neat to hear what it was like to work on Moon Patrol. I know Tommy, when he was at Electric Playground, he used to always interview companies and employees while they're making games. So I was kind of surprised that he didn't do that for his own company. Some people might conspiratorial and be like, oh, it's because they were doing nothing, but I don't know. If I had to guess, I doubt it was anything notorious, but nefarious, notorious. B-I-G. There we go. Oh. Man, does anyone know anyone that's beaten this Moon Patrol demo? Dear God. I'll have to watch if someone's done a walkthrough or how to beat it. Oh. Oh. That was dumb. I shouldn't have tried to shoot both. I find the best way to do this is try to focus far ahead. Not really focus on where you are, so that you're watching what's coming up, and not so much what's around you. Because man, if you watch everything near you, it's just overwhelming. Oh yes, you love it. Oh! Did I not jump? Oh, thank God in our life. Oh, yes. Holy tomatoes. It's like I hit jump like 5 times, make sure it actually jumps.
What?
I'm just doing a live stream.
What?
It's fine. Holy, we made it to a new territory here. Oh, I knew that part was coming up too. How do you make it over that? Alright, we'll take a little breather. So what does everyone think? Do you like the new Moon Patrol for Intellivision Amico? Are you surprised that you can play it on a TV and a home console? Well, not a home console, on a computer running BlueStacks. So hook it up to your TV, hook it up to your computer monitor, whatever you prefer. Hook up a gamepad. Don't have to use a cell phone. If anyone's disappointed they can't get Amico Home working, or they can't afford the games for it yet, I know a lot of people are saying $4 is way out of their price range. No, I shouldn't make fun of it. Right now I can't afford the games either. Soon. Once I get my Nvidia Shield back, then we'll be set. Alright, that was a good enough break. Let's get back to the game. Oh, I traded in points. That lets me keep going. Holy, here I've been restarting every time. Oh, I'm invincible. Yes! We beat it! Yes! Fucking right. So that's it. Oh, that little code at the bottom, I think that's for comparing scores online. This code here. Could be wrong. So let's see. Our time 484, average time 400, record time 375. You have broken a record. Lives remaining 4, lives bonus, your score. Wow. So we finally did it, eh? We've seen how to beat, what is it, Moon Patrol for Amico Club. So I guess this is we'll wrap up the video. We've seen what it's like to play Amico Club, and hopefully in the future we'll be able to do more live streams playing Amico Home. Hopefully the next app update that they do, it'll increase how long my Android box can play it before it crashes. And maybe I'll start to be able to download the games, or maybe I just got to reinstall it on my console and see if it works, or works better. Like 5 minutes is okay, at least I can boot it up, try the menus, get the controller working, create accounts, but by the time I start playing it, it's like all of a sudden it's crashing. So hopefully that'll get resolved as more of the beta test issues get going. Right, thanks everyone for tuning in and watching. Really appreciate it. Oh yeah, and big shout out to Atari Creep. He actually gave us some breaking news, so He was on the channel watching some videos and commenting. Big shout out to him. I know we kind of argued in the beginning when Amico first came out, or was coming out or announced, because I was like, you know what, man, I'm like, I love Tommy and I love Intellivision, but I'm not really sold on the Amico idea yet. And I was very critical of it in the beginning. I was more critical that the organization wasn't well organized enough to get a product on the market, that they would fall apart and not release anything, which did kind of come true, but it's never the thing that I wanted to happen. I was just calling it like I saw it. Because I know, like in video games live, sometimes it goes off great, but other times it doesn't go so smoothly either. And I was in one of the cities that didn't go so smooth, so that's where I was a little concerned. Running a big company like a video game company is definitely a challenge. Oh, here we got some more questions and answers. Alright, so we'll bring up my YouTube page here. Or maybe we should, yeah, let's close the Amico app first. Oh, you can go to main menu. Ooh. Just to free up some of the computer's memory while we check out the video comments. Alright, so Carroy Retro Gamer replied, Leland, I got my refund 2 years ago because I'm not a fool. Why are you so hell-bent on this scam? Anyway, and you're not going to get a Scamico, and you know that. Well, just to clarify, Calroy Retro Gaming sounds like a cool channel, and I'm glad that you originally supported the Intellivision. That's great. I know a lot of people bought into the YouTuber clickbait that Amico was some sort of scam. As you can see, I'm already playing the goddamn thing, right? I just beat Moon Patrol. So that was a lot of fun. Obviously, I didn't get the original console plan idea of like a physical console and a Amico controller, but you gotta admit, at least I got something, and arguably it's even better. Alright, so Jan Ong, Lelanders, do I get the box games? Do they deduct money from the $100 console deposit or no? That's a good one. Let's check in. We'll go to the More Lies video. Pardon the pun. Yeah, see, this is JT's video where he's accusing Intellivision of saying the games are free, but then
What's going on, guys?
but then not being free. So it's like a scam. But it's weird because in part of his video, he like literally, let's see, where is it? He like highlights the email and says that they called it free. But then when you read the spot that he highlighted, it doesn't even say free. So it's like, I don't know what he's trying. Some people are like, oh, he's saying that they implied it's free. It's like, what are you talking about? If you imply that someone's saying stuff, that's basically the same as making something up and hoping that it's what they would actually say. So implying and lying is kind of hilarious, right? You're putting words in someone else's mouth and then accusing them of lying for saying it. It's like, well, that's not what they said. That's what you said they said. And then you're calling it a lie. So basically what you're saying is that you were telling something that wasn't true. And I like JT's channel. I think he's got the greatest Amico content these days. So it's nice that he's covering it. And I don't always agree on some of his posts. Some of them I do. Like when he's saying that he wants to be critical of Amico because they've had a bad run so far. Yeah, I agree with that. It definitely hasn't been peachy. But this idea that they were scam and just wasting the money and sailing off in pirate ships, that's all I was saying. It's pretty funny. Yeah, let's read it. If you're a value customer, where does it say that it's free? It doesn't say that. And he's like, oh, it's not free. It's a scam. But good video. I liked it. Yeah, there's my comment. And the idea that the games are costing more money, I think that's a good idea because inflation's gone up so much that we need more money for the games to keep the console going or to keep the company going to potentially make a console. I really don't think they should even bother making the console. That they should do is change over the investment agreement to try to give some of the money for software to the people, not just the console profits. Or maybe it already is that way. I don't even know. So, yeah, that's some of the comments that we've read so far. What other one should we read? I'll make it a little bit bigger so everyone can see it at home. Yeah, that's what I was finding weird. It's like I'm older. I've definitely had a serious head injury. It makes difficult concentrating on a lot of things. But I found it easy to set up the Amico Home. So who exactly is having trouble setting up the Amico Home? The skills include installing an app. And I get it, you need two Android devices, but we're not talking two Android cell phones here. We're talking one Android box that's hooked up to a TV and then a cell phone. So anyone who owns an NVIDIA Shield and a cell phone is basically ready to go. And people are wondering how many NVIDIA Shields have sold. What is it? Probably in the millions, but NVIDIA has never released their sales numbers, so anyone who says they know is just speculating. Alright, so what other questions do we have about Amico? Oh yeah, that Jan. Where's that one? I thought games were free for the boxed edition since customers paid for it already. I don't understand. Will they get charged for Finnegan Fox? And then I answered, if you register the physical games online, then you get a code to allow you to download the games for Amico Home when they're available. That's my understanding. Don't quote me on it. If I download the box games, do they deduct money from the $100 console deposit or no? I don't know. If I download the box games and then do they deduct money? Not sure. That sounds a bit confusing. If I find out, I'll update the answer and put. See, here's people mocking the idea that you need two Android devices. Like, we're talking everyone who owns an Android box, which is how many people? Let's just do an estimate, eh? Whoops. People own a Android box in world. Doesn't tell you, eh? Here we go. It says that the size, it just tells you the size of a market. I don't know, that's weird, eh? If anyone's able to find out, how many Android boxes are there that exist? So I would have to guess at least 100 million. Oh, we just got some people to join the chat. Alright, let's see who it is. Should Amico just partner with the Shield? See, that's the funny thing. NVIDIA Shield is a company that built their console almost like open source. So everything already works for it natively. So you don't even have to like fight it or sideload it. It just works. So that's what I like, how like you don't really need to partner with Shield. Anyone can partner with Shield. All you have to do is make things compatible with Android. Because it's the ultimate Android box. Alright, second like. Yeah, so having two Android devices, I know it sounds stupid, but a lot of people have like couples, right? So you have like a man and a woman that both have a cell phone, therefore you could do the Amico Home thing, right? Or if like in my case, when me and my girlfriend both have Android phones and we have NVIDIA Shield once it arrives from down south, then we'll have two controllers that we can start multiplaying, and then I'll start doing some live streaming of that. so people can get an idea what it's like for like at-home gaming. Two people playing online or playing against each other or with each other. Maybe we'll play that Side Swipers game. That's probably one that I'll be able to afford right off the bat because it's only $4. I think Steadfast likes playing video games and she prefers a cell phone controller style, I think, too. So that'll be good. It'll be more me that has to adapt to using the cell phone because I'm more of a console gamer, so I have to adapt, where she'll be in her native element. Yeah, Missile Command, I'm not really too big into that game either, so I'm not going to be one of those people that loves everything in television. I'm still critical of quite a bit of it. I would definitely change some things. But I don't know, some people love the Missile Command, so it's more of like just an opinion thing, right? Like some people love it, some people don't. Here we actually have a woman who's posting. What did she put? The spin that Wide Mouth, Mike Mollusk, and Bacon Ice Cream have on the news is off the charts. They're absolute comedic gold. Yeah, that's what I find. The whole Amico saga really is quite comical, and I'm glad none of it really has come to lawsuits yet, because we really could see lawsuits either way. Like, just imagine if Amico launched in Japan, like half of the YouTube gaming community would be in prison because of their strict anti-libeling and slander laws. Yeah, optimized. Oh, I mean, not released a console and make it Shield specific. That's what I'm thinking, is that's why we're seeing a little bit of delay from Intellivision with the games, is they figured out that, hey, since we're not making it for an underpowered console, why don't we just make it compatible with like the latest Android so the games can be optimized? Like Jesus, the Nvidia Shield can run 4K gaming, so they could update the Amico games to 4K if they wanted to. Can you imagine? What would the Pat and Ian say then? They'd be like, "Holy fuck, Amico is like literally top of the line 4K graphics." The thing that was one of the original rumors that turned out to be not true might actually turn out to be true. That's why people are like, oh shit, the Amico got delayed for so many years. What a scam. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, holy shit, Amico got delayed for so many years and it got so much better. We're talking about it running on like a 4K console now instead of like a low powered Android box. We're talking top of the line. It got upgraded to. So how is that bad? Well, I guess the investors had to wait, but hey, if anyone wants to sell their shares in Intellivision, God, I wish there was like a page where you could buy them. Like, hey, Smash JT, if you want to sell your shares for like half price, you claim that you think they're worthless. So if you think they're worthless, give me a deal on them, right? Not to offer comedic gold. Yeah, everyone's saying Phil Adams should not get a paycheck, and well, not everyone. Rob 4043 or whatever. He should completely forfeit any salary to help the console launch. And television needs to work out a deal with limited run games to sell the packing games as Amico Lives for Switch. See, the problem I have with Switch is the controllers suck. Really bad, right? It's arguably the worst controllers that any console has ever made. But it is a portable. So you have to give it that too. It's not really a home console. I know they have a dock and everything, but let's be real here. It's a portable. So yeah, people say you can just use a Nintendo Switch Pro controller. Well, if I'm going to do that, why don't I just use a Pro controller on a Shield? Like, why do I want to buy the Switch? I'm not into most of the Nintendo games these days. Not really too big into Mario or Zelda, so I used to like those games, but they're a little bit overcomplicated, I find lately. That new side scrolling one, I've actually been tempted to get the Mario one. That might be good. But to be honest, I played Mario games to death when I was a kid, so I'm not like dying to get like another 80 hours of jumping Mario on the screen. Maybe a few hours here and there. They also could sell Night Stalker and Cloudy Mountain as standalone games to raise more capital. See, what I think they should do is, yeah, focus on some of the really good franchises they have, or if they still have, people debate it. But Cloudy Mountain, that could be the next Diablo. And if it's the next Diablo, can you imagine the cash that Intellivision will be raking in? And should they give some of it to investors? That would be a neat way to go. Like have Phil Adams make an announcement. He's like, due to the delay of the Amico console, or maybe inevitable never release because we just like Shield better, we're gonna put some of that money towards the investors of the console instead. I don't know if that is gonna happen. That would be kind of neat. Maybe a little bit of way to save face. If Intellivision makes crap loads of money off Cloudy Mountain and investors get a share of it, that'd be sick. Night Stalker, you could say the same thing. Maybe Night Stalker is like the next Bomberman. That'd be sweet. Then you also have the Bomberman itself. I don't think that's getting the greatest reviews though. And I was thinking with Utopia, maybe it could be the next, what do they call it, Sim City, where all of a sudden it becomes like the next Minecraft, where everyone's playing Utopia, creating levels with a level editor and sharing them online. That'd be freaking amazing. If Amico could find out some way to make a revenue system off people sharing levels with each other, that'd be freaking amazing. Get players earning money, have the console sales just going through the roof because everyone's like, oh, have you tried the new Minecraft? It's called Utopia for Intellivision. Or the next Roblox. See, I'm not one of those pessimistic people where I look at the Intellivision licenses and say, hey, there's not a single freaking best-selling game in here. There's probably at least one or two, maybe even three, right? They've got a lot of good franchises. I grew up playing Intellivision, so I definitely have a soft spot for it, but I know that some of the franchises they got, they're gold. Well, I don't know, but I'm just guessing. Should clarify. Especially if they can work that level editor system. Even with Moon Patrol. Can you imagine you could create your own Moon Patrol levels, share them, and then have some sort of revenue system worked out? Like we've seen it before, Roblox and Minecraft, or no, Roblox is the one where they what do they call it? Monetized it so that players can make money and the game makes money off the players making money. It's pretty sweet. Now, gaming definitely shouldn't be all about the money, but it is a wild way to do it. Or the next Castlevania, yeah. The homebrew for Intellivision, yeah, that market is amazing. That's what I was thinking. If Intellivision Amico comes out with the controller and it syncs out with Shield, you could take that new Intellivision controller, the Amico controller, and then play the emulators. And then what do the emulators run? They can run all the homebrew games. So what the homebrew games could do is add a patch so it has support for the Amico controller. Wouldn't that be sweet? So we'd start to play the homebrew Intellivision games with added support for the touchscreen. And just for me too, like I recently had a hand injury where my left hand is pretty gimped right now. So when it comes to the idea of being able to play a one-handed controller similar to the Nintendo Wii controller, I like that idea because I have only one good hand. So yeah, the people that criticize the Intellivision controller, you forget that there's a market out there where people literally only have one good hand to use. So they're not even going to be able to play like a two-handed controller. Obviously, it's not a billion-person market, but still, it's out there. That would be kind of neat too, if Intellivision was like labeled as one of the first consoles where people are like, oh, they're catering to people of all weird people. But it's like some of these weird people turn out to be handicapped people and they love it because it's a market that really hasn't been catered to before when it comes to gaming, other than Nintendo Wii. Right, most of the games should have level creators at this point. I know, because even the original NES in Japan, they had some level editors worked out already, but they decided not to release them. And it wasn't until later consoles that we started to get more level editor features. Like even the original Sonic, does anyone remember that for Genesis? It had a built-in level editor. They called it debug mode. And it was really wild, but you couldn't share and save the levels. So you could create a level, but as soon as you turned the console off, it was gone. So level editor capability is definitely something that's been around for a while, and I bet you Amico can pull it off no problem. Well, maybe a few problems. Who are we kidding here? This isn't television. Yeah, see, some people are making fun of Intellivision, saying give them any money, you should get your heads examined. That's usually the kind of talk that people say about companies that are right about to explode and make huge amounts of money. There's always going to be doubters, right? And arguably so, there is a lot of things to doubt with Intellivision. I love bashing Amico Home. Yeah, Amico Home and Amico Club. I still like Amico Club better. So as much as people want to make fun of it, it is right to a certain degree. Amico Club is still better, but to give it credit, Amico Home's still early beta. Yeah, see, this is what this guy's saying, Danny Larson. They should focus on a small production run of the controllers that are compatible with Amico Home. So that way we could start buying them and playing Shield with it, for God's sakes. Can you imagine? I can hardly wait till we get the Amico controllers. Let's hope that they can at least get those on the market. It's not going to be easy either. Really, if I was in charge of Intellivision, I would not only release the Amico controller, but after it's released, start pre-production, or what is it, the planning for Amico Home Controller 2. One that's like an actual cell phone. You can put a SIM card in it, update your cell phone so that now you're carrying around an Intellivision cell phone that you can sync to your Shield when you get home. Oh man, that'd be epic. See, this idea that they took the money and sailed away on a pirate ship. No, actually, they incurred a lot of debts, and they're still working on the project. And I'd appreciate some people giving them a bit of respect. Like, dear God, these guys are working their ass off to bring back retro consoles from the dead, and it's not an easy project. It's taking entire teams of people, some of the best in the industry, and they're doing the best they can. The whole chip shortage. Like, the chip shortage actually reminds me of the Chinese farmer. It's a situation where, yeah, we had to wait years. Yeah, people are upset that the Amico consoles could never be made. But in the long run, it ended up making it work with NVIDIA Shield. And it's arguably a much better console anyway. So why are we upset that we had to wait a little bit? Dear God, you can't have everything instantly. It's like our society, right? We have no patience anymore. You're being naive. Of course it's a scam. Yeah, that's why we're lucky. If this console launched in Japan, all these people calling the company a scam, they'd be in serious legal problems. Can't just go around slandering and libeling companies, especially when no one knows. We're just guessing at this point. And it's all they always talk about in television is criminals, criminals. It's like, what's illegal? A company doing the best they can, people investing in something and then the investment not working out. That happens all the time. Yeah, people are arguing about the game prices. Yes, you can get $20 games in Canada, but you can also get $4 games. So this idea that they're all 20, that's just BS. So nice work with the videos. I think I'm going to keep playing Amico Club for the time being. Like, I like Amico Club better so far because I can play it with a gamepad. But once I get Amico Home's bugs worked out and it's working a little bit better, and once I get my Shield from down south, then I'll be playing some Amico Home as well and trying to do some comparisons. Me and my girlfriend will play it with our cell phones each hooked up to it, show how easy it was to get two cell phones playing on Amico Home on the Shield. It'd be nice too if some of my friends came over so we could have like 3 or 4 player games with Amico Home. That's going to be exciting. We're talking about the couch multiplayer that Tommy always wanted to show how great it would be. And we're going to be doing it. We already started. Yeah, let's see if level creators become a thing in television games in the future. I sure hope so. Because, yeah, level creators, I don't have the time and energy to make the levels anymore, but I would sure try them out. See what other people's creations are that have more time to do that sort of thing. And that would give some credit to like Intellivision as a company too, because level editors are kind of a feature that it's like modern games do. So they couldn't criticize Amico being so in the past. Be like, not only are we part of the past, but we combined it with the future. Get level editors going. Utopia level editors, Moon Patrol level editors. Maybe even make some what do they call those other games? Breakthrough or not Breakthrough? Moon Patrol. Basically all the Intellivision titles. Oh, especially Cloudy Mountain. Can you imagine a Cloudy Mountain level editor? How popular that would be? You could be talking Minecraft level gaming. So I get it. A lot of people are critical. Few people hanging on with some optimism for Intellivision. A lot of silent people, I bet you, are pretty optimistic. Because we do know this is Tommy Tellerico here. A lot of people have put his name in the mud, but he's been down and in the dumps before and managed to recover and bounce back bigger and better than ever. So I think it's only a matter of time until we see Tommy back. We get him talking about Amico Home, and hopefully the controller will hit the market. Obviously, I don't think the controller is coming out before Christmas this year, but can you imagine it makes it out for next year? That'd be sweet. Intellivision controllers back again on the market for the first time, modern ones. If Intellivision was really sneaky, they would work out a deal with Coleco or whoever owns Coleco, or maybe acquire some licenses, and then have the Coleco Chameleon controller come out on the market. Make it sync to Shield. Oh god, wouldn't that be sweet? We could see Intellivision and Coleco back. Controllers for each. Can play the ROMs or the modern games and the homebrews. The future is bright. Alright, so let's give a shout out to everyone who was in the chat today. Oh, it was Warzard the Board Time Lord. And a few other people joined, but no one chatted, so thanks for Warzard for taking the time to chat. Alright, bye now everyone. Was there anything else? Yeah. If there is any comments, questions in the chat, make sure to leave them below and I'll try to answer them all before I have to go back to work. And it's Saturday right now, so you got time. Alright, see ya later. Have an Amico day, everyone. Like, sub, and share if you got time. Have an Amico day.